Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Yomi. I'm so sorry that I have not been posting very frequently because I have not had that much time. I've been saving up to buy a new camera. Excuse the video quality. I've been saving up to buy a new camera, which is also why I have not been posting very frequently, because I want to produce the best videos that I can, and with a camera that's not that good, I don't want to be making too many videos. So this piece is a drawing of Adam and Eve that I did a few days ago. It took me around 20 hours, and I'm going to be using this piece to explain the creative process specifically for art, but for pretty much anything. Whether it's a painting, a drawing, an invention, a movie, a research paper, anything. The creative process. And what is the creative process? It's a no-brainer, the process of creating something. So let's begin. So I've broken down the creative process into 9 steps, and you can take this information with a grain of salt, or my opinion with a grain of salt, because remember, I'm not a professional. Everyone's opinion differs. Someone may have different steps than I do, but just please listen, because what I have to say, you may like the information, you may not. So the first step that I chose was motivation. You need to be motivated and believe that you will be able to create something, and that you will be able to be creative. Because I know a lot of people who put this barrier around themselves, and they're not able to create because they say, I'm not creative, I cannot create something. I have to look at a picture for everything, I have to create something. Well, that's not true. The reason you're not able to create something is because you're not motivated to, and because you tell yourself you're not able to. So that's the first step. Get motivated. Put it in your mind that you'll be able to create something if you put your mind to it. The second step is the planting of an idea in your mind. Whether your teacher tells you something and that gives you an idea, whether you read a book, watch a movie, Star Wars, Spider-Man, whatever, whether anything you do, looking at a picture, that can give you an idea. Looking at another inventor's invention, looking at another artist's painting or drawing, that can plant an idea into your mind, even when you're not trying to get an idea. Or sometimes you'll be brainstorming so that you can come up with an idea, and an idea will be planted into your mind. Either way, an idea needs to be planted into your mind. So that's the second step. An idea. The third step is sleeping on it. Usually if I come up with an idea, or an idea is planted into my mind, I won't start creating the piece right away. I may take a few days, I may take a few months, even maybe a few years for executing an idea that's in my mind. And that way, the idea can get stronger and stronger, and I can develop it more and more until I'm ready to execute the idea. So as soon as an idea comes to you, it may not necessarily be the best idea to start fleshing it out right away. Unless you're completely ready to execute your idea, then go for it. But just know, do it in the right time. Just write it down so you don't forget about it, and let your brain continue to develop this idea. So that's the third step, sleeping on it. The fourth step is doing research and finding inspiration, whether you're looking on Pinterest or on Google. I had to do a lot of research. Okay, so since this is based off of Adam and Eve, which is in Genesis, which is in the Bible, I had to read the first 2 or 3 chapters of Genesis over and over, about 10 times, 15 times, 20 times, so that I can make sure that I can make this piece how I wanted it to be, and true to what happened. So yeah, if you're doing a piece based off of The Greatest Showman, watch The Greatest Showman first. Don't just create the piece. You need to do your research so that you can get the essence of what you're trying to create. I can't create a picture of Adam and Eve without having read what Adam and Eve is about. I may know what it's about, but I should read it first so that I can capture the essence of what happened. And that's the best way to go about it. At least that's what I think. Also, I have to research a bear site compared to a human site. a fox's height compared to how big a butterfly is. Of course, the proportions aren't exactly correct because I'm not a professional artist. I'm still an amateur. But that's something that you need to consider. How big is a giraffe compared to how big is it a potosaurus, brontosaurus? I don't know what it's called. How big a brontosaurus is? You need to research that. You need to research. You don't just draw a fox from your mind. Look up pictures of a fox. Look up different positions of a fox. Which one do you like best? Which one can you put in your mind to put in your picture? And that's important to use references. Whether you're creating an invention, look up, let's say you want to create a stool. Look up stools, different stools on Google, so that you're not just creating from your mind, so that you have different references so that your stool can be better than their stools. And that's what I did. I looked at different pictures of Adam and Eve and different animals. So I've been on this point a long time. So the fourth step was research/inspiration. The fifth step is preparation. So for preparing for this image, I had to make sure that my colors were right. So I had to color swatch, make sure the colors went together. I had to make sure the composition for the piece was right. I had to make sure the perspective was right, the lighting, the shadows, anything like that. That is something that you need to consider when creating a piece. So the preparation, whether maybe you're running out of your marker already and you're going to use that marker a lot for the piece that you're creating, go to the store and buy a new one, a replacement, so that when you run out of the marker you're using, you can still create and you could use the new marker that you got. Think ahead. Also, next, the sixth step is getting constructive criticism/feedback. Tell someone your idea, whether it's your mom, your dad, your friends, your classmates, because they'll be honest with you and tell you, that doesn't make sense, that doesn't look right. I'll show people my sketch and they'll be like, the arm looks a little bit funny, or that doesn't look like a cat, that looks like a dog. So I need to know that so that I don't end up creating the picture and it not look very good and it not be received very well. So get constructive criticism. Whether you're writing a book, maybe you have an idea and you should tell someone about this idea and they say, but why would this character act this way? That doesn't really make sense. This story doesn't make sense. Because you don't want to execute an idea and it be terrible. You'll get your feelings hurt. So get constructive criticism/feedback before you execute the idea. So that's the sixth step. The seventh step is creation. And make sure while you're creating something to take breaks. If it's probably going to take you 24 hours to create something, don't create it 24 hours straight. Take breaks. 6 hours here, 6 hours here, 8 hours here, 3 hours there. Don't just create non-stop. You'll get tired and your work will not be good because you're not taking your time, you're rushing, and you're just waiting for the piece to be over. And sadly, towards the end of this, I had to rush this piece. I was still taking my time, but I had to rush it because I did not properly prepare and create start creating this piece when I should have. So I had to rush to reach the deadline because this is for a class I'm taking, AP 2D Studio Art. So yes, the seventh step is creation, the most important part of this creative process. Well, actually all of these steps are pretty important, but for the creative process you're going to need to create. Don't just plan out an idea and not follow through. Always follow through. Unless you tell people about the idea and it turns out the idea isn't too good, go back to the drawing board or flesh out your idea a little bit more and then come up with a new creation. And then the eighth step is revision. Take a break, maybe a few hours, maybe a day or two. Personally, after I finish a picture, the next day if I notice a mistake, I'll not fix it because I don't want to ruin it. But maybe a few hours after creating a piece, I'll look at it, see the mistakes I made, and fix them. So make sure that whether it's a day later, a week later, a month later, depending on how you are, make sure that you revise it because you'll notice mistakes after stepping away from what you're creating for a while. And the ninth step is reception. Show it to people. What do they think? Hey, that bear's a little bit too big. compared to that human. Hey, that penguin is a little bit too small. This picture is a little bit too busy. Personally, this picture is way too busy for me. And if I didn't realize that and someone told me the picture is very busy, I'll say, okay, I need to work on the composition a little bit more. Will I be offended a little bit? But when you're a creator, you're gonna realize that people aren't gonna like everything you do, and you're gonna have to be able to accept constructive criticism. And also, after getting reception, don't just throw it out the window. Make sure you keep it in the back of your mind, so that in the next piece that you can create, you can improve on something, whether it's the lighting, the shadows, the proportions, the anatomy, anything. So yeah, being a creator is hard, and you have to know how to go about being a creator. You have to know how to research. You have to know different you have to research different artists, so that you'll be able to make your art pretty decent. And so that's pretty much it. I hope that you guys enjoyed watching this video, and I hope that I helped you guys with your creative processes. If you have any other steps that I forgot to mention, or that I didn't even think about mentioning, make sure to comment them down below. Comment your opinions of what I said. If you think what I said was correct or incorrect, comment your opinion on this piece, whether you liked it or not, and just give me constructive criticism, feedback, pictures you want me to do in the future, ways I can change my channel. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope you guys have a fantastic day, and it was good having this talk with you guys, and have a good day. May God continue to bless you.